Tim?
Amazing. Yeah, Eddie, I'm curious what your take is. What are the most valuable lessons that you learned while being in the Navy that you were able to bring to
Mm.
your stint as an entrepreneur and franchise owner?
I have stopped being surprised by the linkage from one environment to the other. That question comes up often because people don't realize that there are so many similarities associated with those two environments. In the military, you behave as a team, or you cannot be part of the team. In the military, the people want to be people think that, oh, because you're an officer you are above, and you really cannot relate to the to the deck plate level, and real officers, real leaders understand that there's a certain servient attitude associated with leadership that forces you and wants you to get to know your people. That team building environment and that relationship as to how a team actually works, it is so evident in the military, yet it is also so evident in the small business world as well. Individuals want to feel, when they get hired, they want to feel like they're part of a team. People want to be treated fairly. People don't want to be treated equally. People want to be treated fairly. One should not treat everyone equally, because everyone is not equal. But it is up to the individual, to the leader, to the management, to get to know each of those team members, to figure out how they needed to be treated, what is going to make them tick, what's worrying them, so that you're able to shape their world so that they're able to deliver the services and the products that you want them to do, and not worry about whether their car is running, or whether there's enough gas in the tank, or whether the kid has someone to pick them up at school, or whether they're going to be able to pay for the next quarter of school, and so on and so on. So in the military, you get to know your team. In the small business world, you get to know your team as well. When we hire someone at the store, we don't hire order takers. We hire individuals that are willing to, and they understand what being a member of a team is and how they look after each other. Sometimes, when we go through the question and answer period during an interview, they kind of look at us weird. And, Rick and I quickly do point out, you will spend probably more time at our store in a very small space. Our store is 1,200 square feet and 1,400 square feet up in Gloucester. So it's really small space. There's not very much space to get away for a break, or to have alone time. So you want to embrace the idea that you're there as part of a team, and you want to like that team, and that team wants to like you as well. And they kind of look at us weird. So we ask questions. How do you operate when you feel under the weather? How do you operate when you have someone on the other side of the counter that is giving you a hard time? What is your take? And we want to see what their experiences have been in the past, and see how they operate in a team environment. Because if they think they're going to come to a store and they're just going to be someone there, that's not the individual that we're after. I think when people operate as part of a family, as part of a team, just like in the military, they tend to behave differently, and that behavior is exhibited into those customers that are coming through the door. The individuals that we hire are natural, eyeball to eyeball. They are happy to look at people in the eye. They smile naturally. When something is not happening, we're able to take them away and go, what's going on? Well, I got X, Y, and Z going on. And those issues are approached the same way that Rick and I did in the military. There's one caveat, though. In the military, we had so many services available to us to be able to pick up the phone and say, this individual needs financial assistance, this individual needs medical assistance, this individual needs family assistance, and so on and so on. In the small business world, those services are very restricted, and it is up to us to be able sometimes to provide them or put them in touch with someone that we have developed a network with, that then our team member is able to go, oh, wait, thanks. Yeah, I got a call from X, Y, and Z, and it appears that my car is going to be taken care of. It appears that my child will be, issues will be addressed. All of that makes the team really come together. That was our experience in the military. We have transferred that to the business world, and it really is paying tons of dividend for us.
Yeah, and to take that one step further, and from my prior military experience, the thing that I took away is that so if you're out to sea, or in my case, if we were deployed forward, at the end of the day, you've got to complete that mission. There's just no excuse. You've got to get it done. And so the thing that I really admire so much, and what was the mentality that was just pounded into me, was you got to do whatever it takes to be successful. And and that means if you have to be resourceful, however it needs to happen, but you've got to get it done. And so many founders today, they want to focus on what they can't do or why they can't get to this point, as opposed to, hey, let's think about what we can do today. What are the small steps that we can do to move forward? And then we can incrementally get there. We're not going to have the finished product overnight. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Right. I'll give you a quick example of the military mindset being translated into the business world at the small store level. When we first took over the stores, and I'll try to make this quick. There was knowledge is power, and we found that our team it was very stovepipe as to who knew how to do what. That was not going to work for Rick and I. And the change that we made actually took us about 6 months for that cultural change to take place. When we told the individuals, when we told the team, hey, I need you to train Billy to do what you do. And then Billy, I need you to train Cindy to do what you do. And Cindy will train Bobby to do what you do. And then given the knowledge was power, the first inclination was, if I teach someone to do what I do, then I may get fired. What if they do it better than I do? But the idea there was, we were having to call people at home after working hours because there was something going on in the store, and only they were able to do that. And they saw it as a badge of honor that I must be important. I'm being called. So we circle the wagons, and we had a team training evolution, and we said, this is not going to work. This is a recipe for disaster. If any one of you was to leave, you take with you so much knowledge and experience that the rest of the operation may not survive that departure. And you would leave us not because you're going to get fired, but you could get sick, you could get pregnant, you could win the lotto. And I would be the first one to I guess welcome you. I'm sorry, say goodbye for being here, because I don't expect you to be here if you're a millionaire. But we need to learn how to do each other's job. I take it back to, a squad, a SEAL squad. When they leave, there is a duplicity of effort in those individuals, so that when the poor soul takes a bullet in his head, the rest of the squad says, okay, I guess we didn't have to go back. Billy got a bullet in the head and off we go. So no, someone would pick up that sniper rifle and still be able to put, a round downrange, or pick up the radio and still be able to communicate, or pick up the med kit and be able to provide care to someone else. At our store, we needed to be able to do the same. And slowly but surely, they were able to open up and be able to figure out, okay, actually, I do mind being called at home after working hours. I would tell them, I said, you're not getting paid after working hours, so the expectation is that you should not be working. That is a time for you to relax. I say, if we were paying overtime, I said, overtime, there's nothing sexy about overtime. Number one, it's expensive. Number two, you're being overworked. People that are overworked tend to lack attention to detail, tend to be cutting corners, tend to not relate with the customers as if they were fresh and rested. Slowly but surely, those barriers came down and they started behaving as a team, and they realized that there was tons of positivity if Tim was able to do what I do and I'm able to do what Zack does and the other way around. That's how we have gotten there. But that took easily 6 months for that culture to be totally changed. And for us, that was the jumping point for our store to get to a much, much higher level of income and source of revenue where we find ourselves in now. Only after that was tweaked.
Yeah, I've heard of that as like the bus effect. What happens if you get hit by a bus type of thing, right? And so
I love the name.
It's what do you do if that person isn't there? And if you don't have them in line? And I think a lot of businesses, a lot of small businesses don't think like that. Maybe they can't afford it. And so it's a difficult thing. And I think a lot of people need to try and attempt to have that in line.
I've been directly involved within our entrepreneurial community for years. And the most common question I get is, Tim, I want to get involved, but I don't know what events I should attend. Well, StartWheel eliminates that pain point because we consolidate all the events you should attend into a single calendar. Now you'll be in the know and see where to spend your time. Gone is the need to search multiple websites and calendars. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.